Morning. All right. Well, I'm in Lake Havesu City. I was visiting my sister-in-law. Um, stayed. I decided to stay there overnight and accept their gracious offer to stay in air conditioning for the night. But I'm pretty much ready to go now. It's around 8 o'clock, and just transferring the dash cam footage from yesterday. So tonight I adjusted. Like, I couldn't cancel the one from last night, but that's okay. It was like $20 or something. So I booked another campsite somewhere along I-40. I'll look it up in a bit. This one's in Arizona State Park, and so I figured, why not? Because it's going to be a little bit. It'd be, if I were to go from here directly to my spot in New Mexico, it's like 8 hours of driving. I'm like, I don't think so. I think that's pushing it. So I think I'll do about half of that today and half of it tomorrow, which means one less day sitting in the desert in New Mexico. Oh well, I'll live. But I just want to keep on relatively on track. It was a good diversion. So yeah, so once this thing's done, I'll hook up, see what I can find for fuel around here. Now that I'm in Arizona, it's a lot cheaper than California, and I don't know how cantankerous this beast is going to be today, but apparently the hill up into Kingman is not fun. So we shall see. But other than that, basically the plan is get up to I-40, go across I-40, camp tonight, get back on I-40 tomorrow, go to almost all the way to Albuquerque, and then take a bypass down to 25, and then down to my plot, which is just off of I-25 pretty much. So we'll see how it goes. But I'm feeling refreshed, and it's time to start looking at going. Thank you very much, Jackie, for having me over for the evening. That was great. It was good to see you again. And by special request, here's what the inside of the bus looks like at this point in time. Along behind me and along the driver's side, I have a whole pile of stuff stacked, and the seat that's eventually going to be going over here is sitting in the back corner. It fits in there quite nicely. Along the passenger side, I've got my camping cot, which currently has a bunch of clothes and stuff on it. Underneath it, I have several bins. I have 2 bins right now. I think it's supposed to be 3. Anyway, the third one is in the middle of the aisle back there. But there's a small aisle there for me to be able to get to and from the bed. And I'm not sure how obvious it is there. But I also have my solar panels are right up the middle of the aisle, and they're always in the way. And so, and my camping chair is stuffed underneath the bed. And behind the bed, I have on the floor, I've got the generator, and the big propane tanks are, I don't know if they're visible there. They're right at the back, right by the door. And also a 5-gallon jug of diesel, which has come in handy several times already. Hiding in the back, you've got a charcoal grill, which I have yet to use on this trip. There's burn bands everywhere. But yeah, it's a bit of a mess right now. As soon as I get to New Mexico, the idea is, well, once it's evening probably, is to empty all that crap along the side and reorganize a bit. But we'll see how it goes. Oh yeah, and I also have a cooler up in the front here. This one has all the drinks in it. And then also in the front there's my lithium-ion power pack, currently powering the laptop because I forgot to shut the laptop off. I put it on standby and then it basically ate its battery, as it usually does if you leave it on standby. And there's the SSD transferring. You can see the little micro SD card from the dash cam is in there right now. I'm just transferring off of that. It's got a few minutes left to go. It's saying 17 minutes. Not exactly the fastest thing in the world to transfer tons and tons and tons of video, but I have so much video on there. It has I put a 1 terabyte M2 SSD in there, so it's got lots of space to store the video. And then I'll sit down and actually edit it at some point. And yeah, the door is locked with a padlock on the outside. So while I'm driving, the trash usually ends up landing over on the floor. The gallon jugs are going to get refilled. But right now, the water I have left in there came from Oregon. There's like about half a gallon left in that jug there. I grabbed that in Oregon, and it's been going ever since. I do plan on getting a couple of 5-gallon jugs tomorrow before I get to my camp, to my land. So I have 5-gallon jugs of water. I have right behind me, actually, one of those mini boxes. I have a pump, rechargeable USB pump to pump the water out of a 5-gallon. And then I have my hot dog fork thingy. Rather than trying to figure out where to put it, I just shoved it handle first into the upright post. It clanks around a little bit when I drive, but it works. As long as you're careful not to put your hand down on it, you should be good. Alright, so yeah, that's the basic thing. The radio barely works. I have a new radio back there and new speakers and everything else. This thing right now has 2 speakers only, and one of them is dead. The other 2, which should be, oh god, this may or may not work, I'm not exactly sure, should be up along the wall up there. I have no idea if the angle is right. Anyway, sorry. They are down because I took down the entire cabling trough up there, and they were attached to it, so I took them out. And before I forget to do so, I'm not going to go anywhere yet, but yeah, key all the way in works better. I'm going to make sure I get my mileage on here. 1 second. Okay, I just took a photo of the mileage, the odometer. So yeah, the gas gauge there is not working. It's been stuck at full since Oregon, which has been really annoying. But it is what it is. So I have to go on basically how long it's been since the last time I filled, and it's being super problematic with that recently anyways, because when I fill it, I'm only putting in like a third of a tank, but it's running out of fuel as if there was no fuel. So as I said, like, probably lift pump or something needs to be replaced. But as long as the engine is cool enough, well, not the engine, as long as this, I don't know what it is, it's actually overheating, whether it's the pump or the PMD or what it is. As long as it's cool enough, it generally is okay, except when you wail on it going up a big hill, which I'm about to do in Kingman, which is why I want to do it earlier rather than later, so it's not 110 out yet. It's only like 80 or 90. It's already like 85 or something right now. That way I can get up the hill while it's still not extra hot out. So and apparently from the weather forecast last night, it's supposed to be extreme weather here all the way up to Kingman, but along I-40 going east from here, not so much. So the warnings don't go that far. So it's a beautiful little town, actually. Can't see the lake from here, but the lake is just over there, little ways somewhere. So Jackie had to go to work, and her husband Michael is out running errands and stuff, so he was parked right there. So we shall see if he's back before I'm gone or not. But it was nice to see both of them, and you know, it's definitely a nice break from driving even further. Because the campground I had for last night would have been another 3 hours or so from here. It was one of the longest days on the itinerary, anyways. So splitting up actually was really cool. And good company too, So anyway, yeah, I shall be packing up shortly. And it's almost there. Can't see through the phone. There we go. It's saying that it's going to be an hour and 5 to full charge. I don't think so. So once it's done, I'm just going to shut it completely off. There's not a whole lot of point leaving it in standby or anything like that. Just shut it right off and let it charge later. But we're getting there. 256 items at a minute each. Because the way I have the dash cam set up is it creates 1 minute videos back to back to back. So 256 minutes is what? Let's see, 4 hours is 240. Yeah, so 4 hours, 16 minutes. Sounds about right. Including some time that I had stopped at gas stations, and sometimes a little bit of time I had stopped at the side of I-10. It was pretty short though. But yeah, this should be done pretty soon. 2 minutes. So, and I'll put the Wii SD card back into there, mount it back up on there, start her up, plug it in, put the laptop on the floor behind me, basically. So, yeah, I'm gonna have a lot of video to go through. I'm thinking of doing something like daily road roll type thing at like 20 times or something like that, but we'll see. Because that way a 4-hour drive, I mean, at 20 times 256 comes down to what, 12.5 minutes. So still a bit long though, isn't it? Maybe I'll even do it faster, maybe like 25 times or something. And I'll probably also edit some of it into some of the videos for the daily recap type of video. But I haven't really decided what to do yet. Right now I'm just accumulating the video. I haven't decided what to do on actual editing purposes. When I get to New Mexico, I think I'll be putting up my dining tent thing. And once I figure out where exactly I want to put it, it's lying on the floor in the middle of the aisle as well, right beside the bed. And put that up so I actually have some shade. And then set up the chair and little wee table, which is also underneath the bed. This is gonna be done pretty soon. Then I can actually have some shade and work on stuff. And I'll probably haul the generator out, have it set up, because I'll be using electricity, and I'll be in the middle of nowhere, and there's no noise regulations to deal with. None of this. You have to turn your generator off at 10 p.m. So I will generate electricity as much as I want to, and then shut it off when I want to, which is cool. But I'm not planning on doing the open fires necessarily. I might use the charcoal if there's an area where it's safe to do so. Like if I have an area that's somewhat gravelly like that, I have no problems whatsoever using the charcoal grill. So it all depends on the layout of the land, because I certainly don't want to start a wildfire. That would suck. Oh, it's done. Alright, so you can see you got a whole pile of pretty much identically sized files. They're a minute each. So, time to pack the sucker up. Yay. As you can hear, it rumbles pretty nicely most of the time. Anyway, just gonna go look up my next stop in the phone here. Yeah, you can barely see distant lights of the vehicles on I-40. I think that's what is back there. But got a nice moon. Even can see some stars. And over there you can see a cell tower. Yeah, this is a pretty nice little campground. I mean, it hit 90s earlier. Yeah, that's I-40 over there. Yeah, it hit 90s earlier. But, you know, it was windy, fairly breezy. So it cooled down really quick, just like I thought it would. Of course, it's local time. It's, I think we're at, what, 9 o'clock-ish local time? I'm not sure. My phone still is on Pacific time, even though I told it not to be. I don't get it. Anyways. Always fun when your phone doesn't do what you tell it to. I think it actually did do what I tell it to, but Arizona and daylight savings time don't mix, if I remember correctly. So it's just being stupid. Anyways, beautiful night. Still early. I'm gonna sit here and play on my phone for a bit.